next week. Looking at Monday over here, we had German manufacturing and services PMI. As you guys know, the reason why this is red over here is because this is the main economy when it comes to the euro, right? You have the euro between France, you have Germany, Poland, not Russia, but all these European countries over here all make up the Eurozone. So the main economy is Germany. That's the main one that people pay attention to. So what we had was manufacturing coming out less than expected, and you also had services coming out more than expected. So services, they're starting to open back up when it comes to the lockdowns and all that stuff. So that's showing that services are opening back up a little bit, and it was a lot higher than previous, right? The main thing that you want to look at when it comes to PMI is the fact that it's above 50. As long as it's above 50, you have an expanding economy, a healthier economy, right? Anything below 50 is not too good, right? But looking at flash manufacturing PMI, we came out basically the same as expected over here for the pound, which is what most of us trade, and also flash services PMI coming out much higher than previous. So as you see these services PMIs coming out over here, all higher than expected. What's up, Mana? You might want to, leave and come back in. Maybe that might help. Can you hear me? All right. So anyway, when it comes to services PMI, that shows that a lot of these economies are opening back up between restaurants, hotels, all these things. Like services really basically run a country as far as like jobs are concerned. And most people have services type jobs, right? Manufacturing is about the growth of the country and the income of the country and what that country is producing and then actually exporting to other countries. You get what I'm saying? So it's basically the business of the country. Services is really about the jobs of people and how people, when it comes to unemployment, employment, all that stuff is basically surrounding services. So we see a lot of healthy services PMI over here coming out. So that's good to see. Looking over, well, it's also bank holiday. So right now we may actually do some back testing and kind of stay out of the market today, just so that we stay safe. I did take a trade on GJ, which I'll break down in a little bit, but that's probably all I'm going to be taking today. Other than that, it may be a dud when it comes to trading, and you may want to stay out. Looking over here at Tuesday, you have flash manufacturing and services PMI coming out for the U.S. Now, the U.S. has, and you also have consumer confidence, but the U.S. has been open for quite some time now. They are expecting higher services PMI, but again, like services, manufacturing, they're going to be up and they're going to be, continuing to rise. And that's going to signal to the Fed that, yeah, we can actually start increasing rates next month in March. And that's what we're looking for. That's what a lot of central banks are waiting for. And that's what a lot of investors and bankers are looking for as well, to see if we're going to actually increase rates. If we do, you'll see other banks doing so as well. Speaking of increasing rates, what you have tomorrow is the Bank of New Zealand is probably going to be increasing rates again. Now, this is at the hands of, what is it? I wrote this down, took some notes. They're at all-time unemployment and a 3-decade high in inflation as well. So obviously the 3-decade high of inflation, you're going to want to increase rates. But when it comes to unemployment, who knows what happens when you increase rates? What happens to the market? Anybody know?
Inflation should go down.
Inflation goes down, but what happens to everything else?
Everything goes up.
No, so when you increase rates, what that does is it costs more to borrow the dollar, right? The dollar costs more money now. It costs more money to borrow. You're paying higher interest rates for that dollar. So now what you're going to see is business owners a lot of business owners, what they do is they use bank money as working capital. They borrow the bank's money as working capital so that they can increase their business. So when you see an increase in interest rates where it costs more to do so, you're going to see GDP going down, right? It's the same exact thing when you raise the minimum wage on businesses. Now it's harder to pay people. It's harder to pay more employees to work for you, because you're paying them $15 an hour. And when you're doing that, it's a lot more harder to operate. You have a lot higher of a bottom line now and a lot more overhead. So it's the same exact thing. It costs more to do business now. So what is that going to do to our market? That's going to tank our market. When we increase rates, you're going to see our stock market fall a little bit, right? And that could be getting priced in right now because you see we're not making higher highs right now. That could be due to many different reasons between fear and stuff. But for the most part, what's going on is that they're expecting a hike in interest rates. So when it comes to the New Zealand dollar, they've been increasing rates and they're looking like they're going to increase it again by another 25 basis points here. So we'll see if they actually do. I'm sure they will, but that's going to be the focus for tomorrow, other than some of this US data and then obviously the geopolitical tensions right now in Eastern Europe. Looking over here on Wednesday, we don't have too much coming out, but we do have the monetary policy report hearings coming out for Great Britain. So we'll see what they're going to be talking about when it comes to them increasing rates as well, right? And that could be coming after, a hike in interest rates from New Zealand. They see what happens with that. They get their data from that, and then they start to assess. Same exact thing with other countries and other central banks when it comes to the US dollar and what they're going to be doing as far as what the Fed's doing, right? They kind of piggyback off of what the Fed wants to do. So moving into Thursday over here is another main focus of what we have here. What we have is prelim GDP coming out quarter to quarter. Now, what we had, again, I have some notes written down over here. So last quarter was a 6.9, much higher, 6.9% GDP over here. Gross domestic product. What is our country producing, right? So we had a 6.9% increase, much higher than quarter three's 2.3% increase, right? So they're expecting 7.1. So if we get 7.1, that'd be awesome. That's going to show the Fed that we can be increasing rates. But at the same time, if we get any kind of surprise, if we get much higher than 7.1, that's going to signal to the Fed, okay, maybe we can increase rates by 50 basis points instead of 25 basis points. Does that make sense to you guys? It's showing the Fed, okay, maybe the economy is a lot healthier than we thought it would. We don't need as much stimulus. We don't need low interest rates. We can now get back to a normal monetary policy where we now have higher interest rates and the economy can survive with higher interest rates. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. We also have unemployment claims coming out as well. So we'll see how that comes out. We have crude oil inventories. We also have an FOMC member, Mester, speaking as well. So we'll see what he has to say about what's going on with the what we're going to be doing next month and some of the data coming out from GDP as well. Looking at Friday is going to be the main thing. Friday is going to be the main focus of the week. Besides, again, Russia and Ukraine, it's going to be PCE, right? This is the main. I know you guys we all look at CPI, but this is the main. If you look at the folder here, actually. The main, where is it? Differs from core CPI in that it only measures goods and services targeted towards and consumed by individuals. Prices are weighed according to total expenditure per item. What does it say? Okay, this is rumored to be the Federal Reserve's favorite inflation measure. There you go. So this is the main data point that they're looking at when it comes to our prices right now. And they're looking at a 0.5% increase in prices again, month over month. So obviously that's not good for our inflation situation right now. So we have that. We have core durable goods coming out. And we also have revised University of Michigan consumer sentiment. What are citizens of the United States thinking about where we're headed? Right. We also have a Fed monetary policy report coming out on Friday as well, along with University of Michigan inflation expectations. And they're looking at 5% over here, or previous was 5%. They don't have an expectation. So that's the economic calendar. Again, main focus is going to be Russia and Ukraine, just like last week. It's going to trump all these economic data points coming out. Right. You're going to see the market moving from that much more than any of these data points coming out. But the second thing is going to be New Zealand, possible increase in interest rates. You're going to have prelim GDP coming out for the U.S. along with unemployment. And then on Friday, we have core PCE coming out. All right, so let's get into the charts unless any of you guys have any questions. Nope. What's up, Paul? Jacob, did you figure that out with the audio?
Yes.
Morning.
You did?
Yeah.
All right, good shit. Happy Monday, brother.
Happy Monday to you as well.
You as well, Paul.
You too. You too.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right. So again, drawing our skeleton over here. You guys know how some of these higher time frames move. We're in this bearish downtrend over here, yearly bearish structure on GJ, which we're now starting to break out of after the recovery from COVID over here. Very similar to our price action over here from the recovery of the 2008 market crash, right? We came all the way down here, tanked to 120, held support over here, and then we were in a bullish trend ever since then. From 2012, which was really 2012, 2013 was the that was the recovery. That's where everything started to turn around a little bit after the mortgage crisis in 2008. So we have this straight bullish structure over here, pushing all the way back up to 195, I would say, holding resistance over here. And then what happened? We had Brexit, which dropped us all the way back down over here. Then we had a slight recovery, retested the lows over here, and then COVID happened back in 2008. So get rid of this stuff. We'll draw this here. I always sound so repetitive on some of these higher time frames over here, but got to do it. So
No worries.
What was that?
No worries. It's a good review.
Appreciate it. So now for our most important things, we have support at 149. We have our resistance of 156, which we finally reached back in May. And then we have our levels up here at 158, and then we could mark off 157 too on the weekly once we're able to see it a little bit better. GJ was stopped at break even. All right. So we're going to pay attention to just this range over here because we're not breaking out of this area of 158 yet. We can worry about that once we get closer to 158 to push up. But right now, what you guys see is some nice bullish structure over here after increasing rates, pushing us right back up to 158. But right now, our main focus is if we're going to end the month above 156, right? If we end up rejecting 156 once more, that could be signals for bearish market structure to continue right back down to fill this wick and, you know, come anywhere into this area. Now, for that to happen, I believe that we're gonna see a war in Europe. If Ukraine is invaded, right, and then Russia starts, you know, moving even more west, and then some of the European countries, I know Great Britain is definitely involved with all that, as allies with the U.S. and all these other European countries, you're going to see a nice tank on this because a lot of people are going to be investing their money into the Japanese yen, Swiss franc, and the U.S. dollar. All right, all safe haven currencies, and then safe haven metals. You're going to see gold continue right back up, right, reaching all-time highs again. I believe retesting the highs from 2020 with COVID. Looking over here at the weekly now, these candles are getting a little bit weaker around 156, but we are still holding support. But we have our support right over here. Previous candle body highs. Move that to the left. Excuse me. Ugh. You have our support right over here, where price ended up retesting this bullish structure over here. We ended up holding a resistance, very similar market structure that we have over there as we do right over here, where price pushed all the way back down into this area, held support after a strong bearish close, but barely a bottom wick over here. We get a bullish rejection of this level down here with a bullish close. This candle passes the high right away, fills the wick, prints a wick right over here with a strong candle. This candle creates that bottom wick where, at the time, this candle was bearish right over here. So it looked like we were starting the month and rejecting 156 to possibly come down somewhere into here, but we ended up flipping bullish, passing the high of this candle, and then retesting 158. Ever since doing that, we've been pretty weak. Ever since tapping into 158, buyers cashed out, sellers took over a little bit, but we are still holding above 156. We have a nice doji above 156 as well, and we have the current weekly candle is pretty bullish, right? But what's going to happen over here is it's the beginning of the week. So did we create a top wick over here to flip bearish and continue down below 156, right? Again, a lot of fear in the market. People putting some money into the Japanese yen. So you're going to see GJ go down a little bit unless we increase rates in Great Britain. Looking at the daily is now a mess, right? This is something that you really don't want to be touching unless you see the setup that you like when it comes to playing some of these ranges. Again, we just grabbed one on GJ this morning. That was the first trade I took on GJ in the last, I would say, 2 weeks, right? But what I want you to look at is this level right over here. We ended up breaking 156 with this candle and creating a high up here, right? We retraced all the way back down, created this low, held support right here, and then closed above this previous resistance over here with this candle right there. Ended up rejecting with a weak bearish candle, still above this level. This candle barely passed the low and just shot up with the increase in rates. Ever since then, we shot right back down to this level. We get a doji at that level. This candle rejected it as well. And then all these candles have remained above that level for the most part. You got, some of this stuff going on right over here. But again, this is just a giant range over here. So are we going to hold this level? And more importantly, are we going to hold 156? Looking now also, I just want to point some of these candles out. You have this resistance up here, and then you have a lower high with these candles right over here, where this candle looked like it was passing the high of this one, and then we ended up flipping bearish and closing bearish, but barely a bottom wick. And again, it's right at that level. Looking at the 4-hour, this is where it gets a little messy, and I can see why it would get confusing for some of you guys. But right now, we're sitting in this range from 157. You guys know that's a significant level. And we're sitting between 156 and 157. Now, the reason why I took that trade this morning, again, was because what we had was multiple rejections of 157 over here. Then we had a strong bearish close over here, ended up closing below this level over here, but then we got the fake out, right? Creating this strong bullish candle coming all the way up here. But then what did you see? You start seeing some weaker bullish candles, right? These candles are starting to get weaker. Then you get an indecision candle with this candle passing the high and the low of the previous doji candle, I would say, right? This candle, current 4-hour, never created a top wick and just shot right down, right? And we'll break down some of the structure over here in the lower time frames of why I took the trade. But so far, we're just creating this lower high over here to then possibly continue down and retest our level right over here. This is definitely a key level right here, 156,200. All right, so are we coming right back down to that level? Looking at the 1-hour, what you have is this lower high. Over here, we had a resistance over here where price broke above, held support over here, kept pushing up. We reacted to this level over here, current resistance, and we just shot down, right? And what I liked were these two candles right here this morning. Bearish candle, this candle filled the wick. We get the top wick on that candle, flip bearish, and continue right back down with a fairly clean move to the left, right back down into this area. Right? Now we currently have a wick to possibly fill, right? Now these were short-lived sells, right? Especially when you're playing the range like that. This is the first trade I took in 2 weeks on GJ over here. these need to be short-lived. This isn't something that you're going to hold like a massive runner on or anything like that. You're just looking for a quick scalp in and out of the market, possibly targeting this area. But once you target this area, you're good. It's a Monday and it's President's Day. Don't expect too many moves today, right? So this was short-lived this morning. We got in, we moved our stops to break even, and I got stopped at break even while we were doing this breakdown. But looking here, it's a little bit clearer. But what you have is that previous resistance I was just talking about right here was broken. Price held support here, pushed all the way up here, and then we got to close below this area. Now, you're not just going to take this trade just because this candle closed below this area now, right? What you're going to do is wait for the retest because you have no bottom wick and we're in a consolidation. So you get the retest, liquidity grab, this candle flips bearish, passes the low right over here, and this is the trade I took. Stop loss up here, take profit down here, about 28 pips away. We headed down right here, push down. I secured 80% at 11.6 pips. Stop loss went to break even, right? And then we ended up getting stopped at break even. That's good. I'm happy with that on a Monday, right? Lowered my risk to 1%, grabbed almost 1% on that, and now we're out. And now I'm pretty much good. Now, are we going to continue down? That was a hard rejection of this area, and we're printing sideways. There's no trending market, bearish or bullish. Everything's just sideways. So you got to be content with that. You got to be content with the decisions that you make every single day, whether it's in the market or your personal life as well. They're your decisions. 15-minute. Are we going to hold this area, previous wick rejection, previous support over here? Will we hold this as a resistance? And can we continue down, respecting current market structure over here, holding resistance right here to retest the low with a cleaner move to the left? Everything other than that is basically a mess. So if I would wait for at least the 15-minute, maybe the 30-minute to close bearish, what is it? 7:12. So you got 3 minutes for this 15-minute candle to close. Can the next candle create a top wick? Here we go. The next candle creates a top wick, passes the low, and retests the low right there. First thing you got to do is see if there's even range for that to happen. You got about 12 pips right there, but then you got 20, 22 pips right to here. So again, is this part of your rules, right? Is that something that you're going to be looking for? I think it looks good. I'm not going to re-enter just because I'm, I don't want to touch anything on a President's Day. And, I already took my trade, already grabbed my pips out of the market. I won. I beat whoever was on the other side of that trade, and I'm content not taking that. Now we can go on and backtest if we'd like. All right. So let's see what ends up happening over here. While I'm breaking down gold, if you guys could keep me updated on GJ, on what you guys are doing, I'll keep it on my other screen over here to see how the 15-minute closes. And we'll go from there. We got 2 minutes left. Anybody have questions about GJ first? Crickets. I guess I did a pretty good job explaining.
All good.
All good? Good shot.
Beautiful job. Beautiful.
Nice, brother. Kat, you all good? Everything's clear?
I'm personally not going to be focusing on GJ for now.
Okay, I like that.
Maybe not the next couple days or so.
Okay, so you're
we'll
waiting.
see.
I'm guessing waiting for a break of 157 or 156.
Yeah, basically, just to
So-
get out of that range, because no.
So this level up here and 156. Anything in here for Kat is
Yeah.
a waste of time or just bullshit. She's waiting for this. With a clean move to the left once we break 156. Right?
Basically.
So when you have ranges like that, do that. draw a big black box if you have to. I remember I used to have to do that in the beginning of my journey, right? I would just draw a big black box on here it is, black box. There you go. One of my first things that I would have on here. I would just do that, and I'm like, I'm not touching that.
Funny.
All right. So if you have to do that, do it. Don't, erase the ego, erase like, oh, I don't have to do that shit. I don't, I'm better than that. Just do it. Right. If it helps you, if it
I like the idea. I like the idea.
exactly. It helps. Right. So eventually you don't have to do that. Actually, let's go back to some of the lower time frames. 15-minute did close bearish. Is anybody looking to take this?
I'm good.
Okay. Nobody? Okay. So here we go. We're possibly grabbing liquidity to create a top wick and flip bearish, or we're going to be passing the high of that candle. And in that case, we're probably going to be invalid depending on how the 30-minute closes over here. All right. So after a rejection like this in a consolidation, I would really wait for the 30-minute to close if I were you. But other than that, I can't tell you guys what to do. Looking at gold, very strong February candle over here on the monthly, right? And this is all due to fear in the market. This is where fundamentals come in, understanding what's going on with geopolitical tensions. Anytime you have geopolitical tensions, you're going to see a nice trending market on gold that you're going to want to take advantage of, right? And if you have a lot of experience in the markets where you've lived through, let's say, Trump's era, where you had a lot of geopolitical tensions between Iran and the U.S. with Soleimani. You also had COVID. You also had the trade deal with not trade deal, but the tariffs that we put on Trump's here. The tariffs that we had with China, right? He did do a lot of good things for the U.S., right? So as far as business is concerned and trade deals and getting us back to where we should be as far as like other countries paying their fair share and stuff like that, especially with China. He held China to account, right? Forget what you guys think politically of him or, how he's a major narcissist and all that shit. He did what needed to be done for the U.S. when it comes to trade, right? So that created a lot of tension and a lot of uncertainty in the market and also in the world between, somebody that was basically like a real estate developer becoming president of the United States. That's going to create a lot of uncertainty, especially when you're dropping a nice nuke on, not a nuke, but a bomb on the leader of Iran, basically the leader of their military, also holding China to account. And that created a lot of not tensions, but uncertainty for businesses in the U.S. as well. Not only China, but the U.S. when it comes to tariffs on China, right? With people doing business over there and having warehouses. So anytime you have political tensions or geopolitical issues, Russia, Ukraine, right over here, you're going to have a nice spike up. Whenever you have fear of inflation, right over here, you're going to have a nice spike up. This was also due, and back to geopolitical tensions, this was also due, if you guys remember, what was going on in Israel and Gaza. Remember the Iron Dome this past summer? Where they just kept, Palestine kept just bombing, trying to bomb Israel, and they had the Iron Dome, and they were just blocking everything. That creates a lot of tension in the Middle East, and you're going to see gold spike up. So now you're prepared for that. Now you know what's going to be happening. Now you take advantage of it. You wait for your supports to be formed. You pay attention to what's going on with Russia, the United States, Europe, Ukraine specifically. You see what's going on. You read the news. And you take advantage of it. You wait for the supports. We'll be calling those trades out, but you just wait for that. Any kind of sells right now are going to be if we have some calmness in the market and there's not as much fear. Russia pulls back. They pull troops back from the U.S. or from Ukraine. There's a lot more of a diplomatic approach, right? Any of these things, you're going to see gold drop, right? But anything other than that are going to be short-lived sells as a scalp just to bring price back down to a support where price is going to hold support and continue right back up, right? So let's mark off a few trend lines over here. One that I like right here that we've been bouncing off of since 2019 is right here. Now, for our most important things that we're going to be marking off, we're going to be marking off 1680, previous support held during COVID. And then after that, we form like a double bottom on, I believe, the daily. You have 750, which we've been holding support here for quite some time. Right? You see all these rejections of this area. Even this doji over here, we had some really nice NFP with this candle, right? NFP came out, surprised a lot of people, along with this candle too, because we had the geopolitical tensions pushing us all the way back up to 1900, 1920. And then we had very nice NFP coming, bringing us right back down in 1750. After that, we were in a range between 1750 and 1830. All right, so we ended up just entering this range over here where price just kept rejecting these two levels. We had a fake out of 1830 over here with a close below, candle flip bearish. This candle held support at 1750, but pushed all the way up to 1830 and held resistance. We then had another fake out on the lower time frames, bringing us below 1830, closing below, but holding some sort of a support right here before price just took off with a lot of those tensions in Europe, Eastern Europe specifically. Now, also, I'm going to mark off 1900. And then we can mark off this wick, which I believe is 1917. I'm just going to call it 1917. So that's our next target. If we can close above 1900 on lower time frames and continue up. Again, further fear in the market, we'll tap into 1917 and possibly through that, if let's say Russia invades, you're coming right back up to our 1980 level and possibly 2000 level. Whoa, wrong. There you go. And then possibly historical highs if we continue up. If the U.S. comes into war, we're sending 100,000 troops over, something like that happening, you're going to see gold just rally. And you guys are going to capitalize on it because you know exactly what happens now whenever you have geopolitical tensions. And we'll be eyeing that, that entire time. Or if things calm down, we'll be eyeing these sells coming right back down to 1830 and possibly back into this range again. Weekly, we so far are rejecting 1900 again. So last week, we ended up having this massive rally up here all the way back up to 1900, right? Significant level. And then buyers cashed out. We retraced a little bit. And now we ended up passing the high over here and now rejecting again. So what is going to happen in here? Are we going to hold a support? Are we just kind of consolidating below 1900, waiting for anything to happen in Eastern Europe? Right? Multiple things happening. Also, not to mention a big part of gold as well that I forgot to mention is the fact that next month we're possibly increasing rates. Right? So if we increase rates and the more hawkish the Fed gets, you're going to see gold drop a little bit, depending on what's going on. Now, if nothing was happening in Eastern Europe right now, that would have a huge effect on gold, right? But right now, maybe not so much. I think the main focus is really going to be any kind of conflict with geopolitical tensions. So we had this previous level over here, I would say 1870, 1874, I believe it was. Let's call it 1880, and then we can adjust on the way down. On the way down the time frames. So you had this previous support, previous rejections over here. I believe it was 1870. We'll actually keep it right at that wick, and then we'll adjust as we go down. But we have this previous resistance and support. Nonetheless, you have all these wick rejections, support over here as well. That price kept rejecting. Can we be coming down over here to hold support and then continue up? Or are we going to consolidate around here, right? We create new highs. And as you guys know, I think we were talking about it on the backtesting session Saturday, where you have either a bullish structure where price will come down and not retest, but retrace a little bit before continuing up, or we come up, we consolidate a little bit, and then we continue to push back up, or you get consolidation here and then a retest and retracement from that area, right? So can we be doing something like this right over here, where we consolidate a little bit, wait for any kind of news to happen, and then we continue right back up? Makes sense to you guys? Back to GJ for a quick second. That's why you wait for the 30-minute to close, right? So just be smart in ranges like this. It'll be these sells like I took this morning need to be very short-lived. It's like, okay, got my piece. I'm out of the market on a US holiday, bank holiday, in a consolidating market. That's it. First trade in 2 weeks on that. Daily. So I would say anywhere around here, anywhere from 1870 to 1875, anywhere around here, we can always adjust this range. But you got this previous support resistance over here that we rejected and just shot right back down. That was that fake out of 1830, another fake out of 1830, and then we ended up continuing back up. One thing I also want to point out too that I forgot to is a quick little trend line that we've been respecting here. As you guys could see, lower highs forming over here, right? And then what happened recently last week? We had the break of that trend, the retest of that trend, and prices took off right through 1872, previous resistance. So looking at the daily, you could see that retest of the trend, support held, prices shot right back up right through 1872, previous resistance. Now, I think we did enough on the weekly over here, or the daily. You guys see this? Multiple rejections of 1900. 4 hour, again, creating new highs and just consolidating. So now we're sitting in a similar range, kind of like GJ right now, right? Where you guys can typically just do this. All right. And this is your plan. And for any kind of sells, I would definitely wait for the retest back down to this level, or possibly like this level right here, right? For then actually us to take short-lived sells, price holding a support right in here. And then this is that better demand zone for price to continue right back up, right? So these are different possibilities for gold, but I would stay out of here. Check out GJ. So the 1 hour over here. Price consolidating here. We're holding resistance again of this area. Did we get any news coming out? Like, why did we reject this area and get a strong 1 hour close right there and a pass to the low? I know this happened pretty quickly. I was looking at this morning. So I just want to see Forex Factory to see what ended up happening. France confirms Biden. When did, this is 11 hours ago. France confirms Biden and Putin have agreed to hold a summit. Says it can only be held if Russia does not invade Ukraine, which makes sense. But the Kremlin is saying that there's no concrete plans yet for Biden and Putin to meet. Now, if you guys want to get into like personal opinions of this, I don't like how Biden is coming out and announcing out of nowhere, like not out of nowhere, but he's announcing like before it's even happening, there's no doubt that Russia is going to invade Ukraine. Like the way he's speaking is almost like he wants it to happen, which you could argue could be a thing, because the American Industrial Index, when it comes to our military, is a very big industry. It's almost as, I would say it's almost as big as pharma, right? But when you have lobbyists in Washington, D.C., the biggest lobbyists are coming out of big pharma, especially in the last 2 years. The second biggest is the military, right? There's a lot of money involved in war. When we go to war, There's a lot of manufacturing. Think about the mobilization during World War II and how everybody stopped everything and everyone went into manufacturing things for World War II. We went into a draft. Everyone back home was making things, making bombs, making shells, making uniforms, making everything. True. Thanks, Kat. Yeah, so there's a lot of money involved in that. So you can argue some of these older established Washington, D.C. senators and any of these people, they got lobbyists in their ear when it comes to some of these things. So does he want this to happen? I don't think so, but that could be a possibility, right? It's just weird the way he's saying it. Then you got Ukraine on the phone with him saying, why are you saying this? You're scaring our people. You're scaring our people thinking that like Russia's automatically gonna invade. And then you think about the psychological part of it where all he hears is Putin, like all Putin hears is Biden saying he's definitely gonna invade. He's definitely gonna invade. In your mind, it's like, all right, might as well do it now. All right. Now think about the importance of Ukraine and Eastern Europe as well when it comes to Europe. Eastern Europe, these countries, Poland, Ukraine, Bolivia, or any of these countries south of Ukraine as well, are all a big border between Russia and Europe. So if Russia can take over Ukraine, they can easily storm into Europe if they wanted to. I don't want to say easily, but Russia's one of the biggest countries in the world. It is the biggest country in the world. I don't know about the biggest military, but it's probably up there between China and the US. So, could they compete with Europe? I wouldn't doubt it. But you do have allies in Europe with the US, any of the Eurozone countries, France, UK, all have major militaries as well. Germany, right? So all of us are on that Western hemisphere of the world are all on the same side. And then you have countries like Iran, Russia, China, North Korea, all these countries that really agree with communism and more control, more government control. They want the whole world to be that way as well. Right. So yeah, a lot in the chat going on right now. Even things like watches that glow in the dark. Hey, what?
I was just talking about like all the random things that ended up being manufactured for like soldiers and things like.
Oh yeah, everything, tanks, weapons, everything. If you guys go in and look at you could search anything on YouTube, and this is kind of off subject. Everything I know and I get and I want to know, I get from YouTube. So I'm a very curious person. I'm always digging into like new information and trying to learn new things. There's not a subject that I know that I won't, or that I'm curious about, that I won't go into YouTube and watch like 3 or 4 videos on, just to get like an idea of what other people are thinking. You got professional videos on there, you have opinion videos on there, and you form your own opinion on it. But like my YouTube history is all just like how to, or how does this affect this, or I don't know. There's so much education, free education on YouTube. It's not even funny. So if you guys want to know more about central banks, you want to know more about what's going on with big pharma, you want to know what's going on with war and how much money is invested into war and how much money is made from war. It's a business. War is a business, right? And you can go on YouTube and find all this stuff. So just be curious, be a sponge, and not only just take other people's opinions and take what other people are saying, but formulate your own opinion and understand like, all right, this is how I think. I'm going to take this information and I'm going to use it here. And I'm going to, form my own opinion. Just like when you guys go on YouTube and you're looking at people's strategies for trading, and you're not just taking that strategy and just going into the live market and putting your money at the risk with that strategy. You're going back and back testing it to see if you can pull certain things from other people. Just like listening to a podcast like Trading Nut, where you have a bunch of different traders on there talking about their experience, their strategy, the way they look at the market. I'm not taking everyone's strategy. I'm not taking everyone's thought process and adding it to my own. I'm taking little pieces, right? Little pieces that I can add into my own, right? And if you just become curious like that, if you just care about your own education and how much you know, and how much value you bring to the marketplace, you're going to be in a much better spot in life. What's Jacob saying? Probably will give a call to Putin and see what we can do about the 4-hour. Yeah, give him a call, buddy. Give me his number too. Make a lot of money on gold, knowing what he's about to plan. But I think writing's on the wall right now. It's almost like inevitable that they want to invade, or he's just playing games. He could just be playing games with people. So where were we? Gold, again, just ranging in here. Nothing really happened this morning as far as like this little drop in gold. I'll actually look at the US dollar right now. See if there's any support held. Yeah, we got a nice little, we have this support right here on the US dollar on the 4-hour. Price came right back into this area to hold support, right? And then we have a bullish candle passing the high of that candle. Can we come up to retest the high? If that happens, for the most part, you're going to see gold retrace right back to this area. Yeah, hard to argue that, Jacob. So this is gold, and now my plan is if we break 1900 right here, I'm looking for a retest of these highs up here. Got a nice clean move right over here. Beautiful. This is what I'll probably be waiting for.
Are you not worried about any bank holidays today, like the U.S. bank holidays?
Yeah, that's why I'm really like this morning when I took that trade on GJ, not only the range that we're in, but also the fact that we have a bank holiday right now during New York. So there's not much volume. So I'm going to lower my risk from 2% to 1%, right? Same thing with gold. I'm probably not going to take anything. And typically, you know, you could, like how I talk about playing ranges, and this is something that you need to back test and understand first before you do so, and being able to pick and choose the trades that you take during the like a bank holiday or no, not a bank holiday, during a consolidation like this, like knowing that price is bouncing off, like this could have been a possible trade you took, because last time price was in this area, we came right back up to 1900. So now after holding a support right here with a strong bullish close, what are the chances that we come back up to 1900, or at least mirror this move back up here? Pretty high, right? So that's where you can play a range. Same thing with right over here. We're holding a resistance here. You're looking at the US dollar holding support here. What are the chances that we can come down and retest this 1888 level? Coming right back down here with nothing really going on. Right, we can end up holding support over here again. So the reason why I said I'm really not going to be taking too much, and the fact that we could be back testing today is because of that bank holiday, Mana.
Got it. Yeah, I'm just worried about the 4-hour on both pairs. It's just not clean.
Yeah, exactly. It's best to stay out of this. If you just stay out of this, actually, we'll go to the 1-hour because it's a little bit better. A little bit clearer. But if you just do this, same exact thing you do with GJ, like that, and what do you got? You got a beautiful move right here, and another move right here. I would take profits right here, and then possibly price continues right back down.
That would be clean,
right? Clean moves. And don't only take it from me, you can take it from Ted. You guys know Ted knows what he's talking about. These are the ranges he trades. Right? Clean moves. This is what you want. Clean candles. Your win, if you end up waiting for these things, your decision making will get much better and your win rate will skyrocket. Maybe not right away, but it's going to happen over time. You're going to, your win rate's going to go from maybe 42% to, okay, maybe 44% the next week. Okay, cool. I'm making better decisions now. Now we're getting closer to 50% win rate. That's pretty good for a scalper if you're looking for a 2-to-1 ratio on your trades. Now, if you get to like 55, 60, 65% win rate, you're making really good decisions. You're looking for 1-to-1s, you're going to be profitable, especially if you're managing risk and cutting losses short and knowing when to be in, when to be out, knowing when to walk away, knowing when to run. You got to know when to count them. The Gambler, if anyone's ever heard that song. So,
I haven't.
Man, I could get corny sometimes.
Oh.
All right, let's do a little back testing, shall we?
Yes, but before we do that, can I ask a question on gold really quick?
No.
What's
up?
Okay, so like when we look at the 4-hour, and I think I've kind of pointed this out several times before, like I tend to just draw a range pretty much starting at the 4-hour because I'm like, all right, cool, like I don't know, like somewhere around there, right? Like just right. And then as we go down to like, or maybe around here. Yeah. And as we go down to like the 1-hour, the range keeps getting wider and wider. But with gold, and like you've pointed this out before, one thing that tends to happen is that like it slightly comes back into the range, and like the start of the move almost happens somewhere on like the outside, like I don't know, like 20% outside.
Let's say we break out here, and then we come back in here, and then this is your move.
Something like that, I guess. So I'm just like, I realized when I've missed those moves, it's been for that reason, because I almost get blindsided as to like, okay, like this is what's happening. And I'm trying to get better at like spotting it, I guess, because it's already happened quite a good amount of times the last several weeks. And then I'm like, man, I missed the move again. And it's because that happened, and you think, oh, it's in the range, but in reality, it's not. It's just like a pullback, I guess, or something.
Yes. Gold does that a lot.
So like, I mean, I am putting like alarms on both sides. My range is currently like, I'm keeping it in the 4-hour simply because maybe that way it won't appear to my eyes like if it is within the range, I guess. And I don't know if that's a little faulty. Like,
well, you did something that I like, maybe a little bit alarmed, that I wanted to point out to you. So you were saying this would be your range right here.
Well, if you go to the 1-hour, I can specifically point it out.
Well, that's what I wanted to say too, is like, you were looking for a resistance or a range like this. Like you don't want to trade anything in here. Now, keep in mind that this is the higher time. This is the 4-hour. So you definitely want to pay attention to the 4-hour wicks, right? If this was the 30-minute, those wicks become candle bodies. Get what I'm saying? So now, I mean, 1900 I have marked off here. You can always mark it right here, but this is a psychological level. And I think if we break 1900 and retest it, we got a clean move to the left, and we'll break through this area right here, especially with New York volume, London volume, or any kind of fundamentals coming out, right? We'll push through this level. But at the same time, like on the 4-hour, these wicks, this is your support all the way down here. This is your resistance up here. Does that clarify anything? It's not here. It's wider, especially with these wicks. These are big wicks and smaller bodies.
But we can definitely do that retest in like well into the like that range.
Yeah. I mean, we can
like something like that, maybe.
Exactly. Right. So we can come up and retest the 4-hour candle bodies coming back into this range. And then you want to make sure, like you've seen this before you take these things. You want to make sure that you've seen those pullbacks coming back into the ranges to then continue right back down. Makes sense?
Yeah.
So now something's going on right now because gold just flipped bullish coming back into this range. and then GJ is dropping. So what is going on right now? Now, the reason I say GJ is dropping is because that's probably the Japanese yen. People put money into the Japanese yen. There's some fear happening in the market right now, possibly. But I don't see anything. Let's stream. It's like emails getting emailed. What we could do is, the reason I have this right here, the fundamental feed. See if anything popped up for us from another site.
We're getting near open too, so it could just be the volume kind of.
Yeah, that's a great point too. This is, and actually, you know what? This is the first time in a long time that we're getting an example of what I tell you guys all the time. What time is it right now on the East Coast? It's 7:45, right? So anytime, like especially last year, I used to get plenty of moves on GJ from 7:45 to 8 o'clock. That volume window was great because you would get huge pushes like this. And this is honestly the first time I've seen a push at this time in a while. So I already took my trade on GJ. I was planning on not even trading today at all. So I'm content like missing this whole move. But this is a good example of this volume time. And this is where I tell you guys to focus on one or two pairs, because one or two pairs, especially in the beginning, is all you're going to be able to concentrate on when it comes to understanding the way it moves and really getting in tune with the way that pair moves, because you're looking for these volume pushes. Now, there's a couple of you guys I've hopped on Zooms with in the past couple of days that I've told you guys to do this, but one thing that I'm going to be implementing now, just so that we all stay in tune a lot more personally, like me and you, if I'm talking to you individually, is every single day I want you guys filling out a morning AAR between what was going on during your morning, like how your morning routine went. You're just journaling it down. This is not Trello. This is in a notebook. You're journaling what you did in that morning. Let's say this morning, how your morning went. Was it an A+ morning? Are you proud of the way you woke up? Did you get a workout in? Whatever your morning routine is, whatever it is, did you get it in? Right? The next thing is, it's like, that's like one little paragraph. Next thing will be like your trading AAR right below that. It's like, okay, how was my trading session this morning? Am I proud of the way I traded? When were the volume pushes? Okay, we got a volume push at like 7:45 this morning on GJ. We were really ranging. Price was a little messy. We're in a higher time frame range right now. I missed the trade, but we did get a nice volume push at 7:45. Let's see if we get that next Monday, or let's see if we get that tomorrow. Get what I'm saying? So do that. I want you to do that. The morning AAR, trading AAR right below it, and then end of day AAR. So like how your whole day went. How productive were you? Were you getting the most out of yourself? Was this an A+, or was this like a D kind of day where I was just not feeling it today, was not feeling myself? I was inconsistent. I could have been better. All those notes that you're writing to yourself, that's the only way you're going to get better. That's the only way you guys are going to get everything that you want, because you're paying attention to yourself. That the power of writing in a journal is, besides trading, writing on your own is super powerful. But like also, if you guys, does anybody listen to Trading Nut?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. Anybody else?
I haven't in a really long time, but it is pretty good.
Well, even if you've heard like just one episode, there's a intro that he has on there where he has maybe like 5 or 6 of the guests, little sound bites that they've been saying over the past however many episodes he has. I forget how many episodes he has now, but these are little tidbits, like important things that he puts into his intro. And one of these traders says that journal that you write to yourself after every single session will make you a much better trader over the course of your career. If you guys go back and listen to just the latest episode, if you want, the first thing that he said, actually, you know what? I'm going to play it so that you guys know what I'm talking about. Great podcast too. give him a little plug. It's Cam. Good dude. I listen to my podcast on like super fast speed, like a nut. All right, so listen to what one of these. Actually, listen to all of them, but listen to that one about journaling.
Who reached out to you and told you about me would have mentioned I typically find my setup within seconds of me looking at the chart, right? And it is because it's a confirmation-based system. Once I open that chart and I do realize that I'm not seeing exactly what I want to see, I move to the next chart. 3-4 seconds, I'm done. I'm done. I'm out. The market's gonna do something. Your job is not to fight it. The market never ever runs away. It's always there.
That personal diary of trading will make you a much better trader than
I could be right about the direction.
You hear that?
Wrong about.
So your personal diary, not Trello, not like the screenshots, which is it's like probably one of the most important things, but your personal diary, what you're writing to yourself about your sessions, will make you a much better trader. Now, I don't want to say this about you guys, but most people, even after hearing me say that or hearing him say that, will still not do it. Right? So we need some accountability in here. So what we're going to be doing is morning AAR, trading AAR, and then end of day AAR, like how your whole day went. So 3 of them. So what you're going to be doing on a Friday is you're going to go on to Slack over here. And let's say that this was a personal one-on-one like DM between you and I right here. You're going to go here to the record volume, which I'm actually recording right now. And you're going to record what Monday's was. Listen, this was my morning AAR from Monday, end of day AAR, or trading AAR, end of day AAR. End of that recording. Next recording, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all 5 days. And we're going to be going over that. And us doing that, this is going to be the base for this week, right? We're going to see how you guys do, how the base was, and then we're going to improve on that next week, right? And to be honest with you, this is something that we should have been doing a while ago, but this is something I really want to implement. I've been thinking of different things to hold you guys accountable and to get the most out of yourself. And I think this is going to be extremely important and also beneficial for you and your career and the amount of money that you make and the amount of success that you have. Having that personal accountability with somebody, which we already really have, but this takes it to a whole nother level. So does everybody like that?
I agree.
Yep.
Awesome. So, okay. So you guys have all heard this already. So take the note, understand that this is what you guys got to do. As soon as our session is over today, you guys are going to go back and you're going to, let's get rid of this. You're going to go write down in your journal. If you have a notebook, if you don't have a notebook, go out to the store and buy one today and make sure that you're doing it. And then on Friday, I'll be sending you a message to, if you don't send it automatically, I'll send you a message to make sure that you're, asking you for it, basically holding you accountable.
So what is supposed to be in this one? Because it's not like you're just personal journaling, but it's like personal trading journal.
So this makes it more simple. So the first one, morning AAR, is your personal one. It's how your morning started, right? The second one is your trading AAR, which is basically still part of the morning AAR. It's just another paragraph right under it, right? Or you can write trading AAR under it as well. You can do whatever you want.
So and just like your decisions and thought process of the trades and stuff.
Yes, how you traded, how you looked at the market. Was it clear today? Did you make the right decisions? Number one. What percentage gain you gained today, if that's what you'd like to put, that'll be powerful too. And I think one of the most important questions that you can ask yourself, especially like when you're not that disciplined and you're working to become more disciplined in the market, is are you proud of yourself with the way you traded today? Make it a post-it note on your computer. Am I proud of the way I traded today? And that's a wide-ranging question of dealing with a lot of different things when it comes to trading. So overall, am I proud of the decisions that I made today in the market? Did I overtrade? Did I over risk? That way, I'm not proud of that, right? I need to improve on that. But if I didn't do that, I'm proud of the way I traded today. I feel good. I can shut my computer off. I can close MetaTrader. I'm done for the day. I made great decisions today. We're at a ranging market. I didn't take a trade. And that's progress. And any progress is progress. Don't think that you guys have to make massive leaps in your life, in your trading, or anything like that. Just focus on the day. Make little progress every single day. Eventually, you're going to get to a point where you don't even recognize yourself because you're in a completely different stratosphere of where you were before you came in here. You're a completely different person. And different, I mean good. Change is good if it's good, right? People change. You guys change. And you need to evolutionize yourself. You need to change for the better and make better decisions and do better things. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about, but super important. So I think this is going to help you guys, and I'm looking forward to hearing how your weeks go on Friday, and we'll go over it. And if we need to do an extensive, like, okay, we had a really tough week, let's look at some trades. All right, let's hop on a 15-20 minute Zoom, go through the trades, right, on the group Trello, and we'll go through that. We'll see what's going on. We'll, correct some things. You'll take notes during the call to see what you could have been doing better on these trades, what better decision you could have made, and we'll go from there. All right, so we're done looking at the ranging market now. You guys want to backtest for a little bit?
Yeah, please.
Awesome. All right, so we're gonna close this out. Now I'll give you guys the option, like we did on Saturday. So Saturday, it was me, Kevin, and Kat. We started a account where it was May of 2021, I believe. We started with a $50,000 account. We gained 2%, so we're up about $1,000 with 2 trades in one session, I believe it was. Yeah, it was just the Monday session. No, Kevin took one on Sunday. I took one on Monday, and we're up 2% now. Do you guys want to continue with that? Do you want to continue the Christmas series that we were doing all throughout the Christmas break every single day? Or do you want to start with a new random date in a new account?
Maybe a new one.
New one? Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. We
What
can do
everyone
that.
else thinks.
Let's see, random. And to be honest with you, it is already 8 o'clock. Or about to be 8 o'clock. So part of me feels like we should just do like a previous session. Let's see. We'll do 2021. December 31st. We'll do only Sundays. All right, cool. So I'm just gonna close my eyes right now and just like do this. 3, 2, 1. All right. December of 2021. What pair does everyone want to do?
GG.
Awesome. Can you guys see my screen over here, MetaTrader?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna cancel this. Yes, I am. So how's everyone feeling this morning while I'm getting this ready? Just feel good, ready to attack a week?
I just got home from work, so I'm a little tired, but we're here.
Of course. I get that, man. You've been up all night. And kudos to you waking up, or not waking up, but coming back from work and getting right into it. Now you're gonna feel better about yourself now, right? Like
Yes.
It's easy to come home from work and go right to bed. But guess what? Once you wake up from that nap and you miss the session, feel like shit. You didn't make much money in the market. But when you stay up and tell yourself, no, my goals are more important, you're going to feel a lot better about yourself. And that duplicates over time when it comes to confidence level. What did we say? December, right? December 12th. That's Sunday. So we'll do that Monday session. We'll do 50,000 again. No, that's 500,000. Your close. Do 500 leverage. 2,000 days back. I think we're good, right? Tiff, how do you feel about the week? Not too good. All right, go back down the line. How about Kat? How do you feel?
I feel
confident.
Neutral. Neutral, which is not too bad because that means that it can be overcome with confidence if I do the right thing.
Yeah. Now, what makes it neutral?
I guess this weekend I was just doing like a bit of research and stuff, gathering some information from like old things that I've done in the past trading wise. And like it was good because a lot of things were making a lot more sense. So it's like, oh cool, like I have made progress, you know? So like you're able to kind of reward yourself because a lot of times we're like just too hard on ourselves and not recognize our
progress.
I guess. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's been good in that sense, but I guess it's mostly kind of layered with a little bit of frustration, which I guess is only human. So I'm just acknowledging the fact that I need to just continue going at it and continue to deliberately practice and all that kind of stuff.
100%. I know it, like sometimes it could seem blurry, the charts, and it's like I'm not seeing this too clearly. It all comes around, and I know it feels like that'll never come to. Like we've been there. I think a lot of you guys have been there. Paul, you know, we've been on a similar journey. So like, if you've been there at any point in the earlier in your career. Paul?
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what?
Oh, I guess Paul stepped away. Let's see. We got all the charts here. So that's typical. I think a lot of you guys are either there right now or you've been, but you're gonna find a point where like really starts to click. Things start to like make more sense, right? You start seeing the charts clearly. Now, all you really need sometimes is just a couple wins, right? A couple back-to-back wins. The confidence comes up, but you got to stay balanced when it comes to the overconfidence.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're just gonna here. I've been backtesting a lot of gold lately. All right. Rafa, how do you feel about the week, buddy?
Good. Yeah, so far so good. So
awesome. Love that. What makes you feel good about it?
Got a lot going on, a lot of good things. A lot of good things to look forward to.
Yes, sir. Potentially getting that how you doing back.
Yes.
Any updates on that?
Not yet, but you know,
okay.
Fingers crossed and hopefully everything comes out good. If not, good lesson.
Exactly. No matter what, it's a lesson. And that's great. I'll hit the rest of you guys. How about you, Carlos, real quick?
Hello, good morning.
Morning, buddy.
I feel good. I feel good about the week, you know. I had a good week last week, just overall. I
Yes,
didn't
sir.
take any. I didn't take any trades, so that's a good thing. Well, didn't lose any trades, so.
Yes, sir. Let's see. Crushing it with the workouts.
Yeah. Feeling good about that. Just gonna continue doing that, and yeah, and hopefully we catch some moves this week.
Yes, sir. We should have some good volume between economic data coming out and also geopolitical issues. So got plenty of volume coming in the market. I think we're just ranging and waiting for some things to happen. And also we got possible increase in interest rates next week. Or next month. Sorry.
Sweet, looking forward to it.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna go to the restroom real quick. I'll be back.
Sure. All right, guys. Very similar to what we were doing this morning. As far as breaking down GJ, still very similar market structure where we got 156 and 150 or 149 over here holding support. So now what we had was to look at the here we go. Let's get this up here. Perfect. Looking at the fundamentals of this move over here. We had the retest of 156 up here. Make this a little bit bigger. Retest of 156, right? Based on rumors that they were going to increase rates. So we came right back up to 158, and then the buyers cashed out, sellers took over, and then they didn't increase rates, which pushed us right back down to 149 here in December, right? So now we're sitting at that support over here. Make sure I cloned everything. Got this. There we go. Just gonna adjust this real quick. All right. So now I think this is a better trend line right here. There we go. So now we're holding support over here, right? This is a very key area right here. So what do we talk about key areas? Where you meet up with a support, previous demand zone, as well as a trend line. When you get that, that tells you that you're going to be looking for some kind of a move to happen. You're going to look for some kind of liquidity to push price right back up. Unless we break below this area and continue right back down. But unfortunately, we have some hindsight bias with this, so we know what's probably going to be happening. But we gotta, when it comes to the scalps, we really don't know. Like the higher time frames, we're probably heading back up. That we increase rates in December, but at the same time, us as scalpers, we're going to be able to understand that we're looking for some of these scalps, and we don't know what happens with the scalps, right? We don't know what kind of scalps that we could grab. So these could all be scalps on the way up. So right now, weekly candle right over here. First week of December ended up closing bullish over here with a possible wick to fill. I think I cloned everything. You know what? Don't worry about that trend line. We know that, we're bouncing off the support right here. You guys have resistance right over here so far, and you get a clean move once we break that. But we do have some wicks in here. We have some consolidation over here. And that's about it. Unless we have, I just want to see if this makes sense right here. Yeah, a little bit. So you have this trend line over here where price has been respecting, and now we're kind of respecting it here. So we need a break above this level here for price to continue right back up. Let's clone that. So now we get a little messy on these lower time frames here. We're now going to adjust this to most recent support and resistance. So we have a support right down here that price is holding, higher low. Price tapped 149, created a higher low over here. Are we pushing up? Right now what we have is this resistance that price is now at. This is the 4 hour. So you know it's strong. We're at that resistance. Are we going to reject it and continue down and create another higher low and then continue up? What I do like though is our liquidity grab right here, right? Price came down, respected this level, closed bullish. Now price could be heading back up. Now we have a move that we could possibly take right back up to this level here with, let's actually mark that off. On that, and then we're gonna measure this range right here. Get about 55 pips back up to that resistance, right? We're also now sitting above the 10 EMA and the 50 EMA on the 4 hour. So that's good. All right, now it's getting real messy.
Yeah, this is where my eyes start to water.
I got you. I get it. So now it's very messy over here. You got this whole range. All of this right here that we're sitting right back in. But what you do have is a resistance that we recently just broke, right? We tapped into this area, creating another higher low after creating this higher low from tapping 149. So we held support here, higher low liquidity grab, closed right back above that resistance. Now, so far, we're holding a support. Looks like this candle is rejecting that area right now. Now, we need to get rid of some things. We need to adjust. Now, I see this level right here as a level that we need to break. See these this resistance right here, previous support, resistance. Just look where price keeps rejecting, Cat, and you'll see that, like, okay, this is a level that we need to mark off. This is a 1 hour. So you see price, you know, tapping into that area, but you also just want to keep in mind all of this price action right here is just a mess. But what we did do was exit this area, right? Does that look a little clearer to you?
Yeah. Can I take a brief look at the 4 hour?
Sure. So the 4 hour, it's the same exact thing. You have this whole range right here. The price actually. Right
how
here.
big is that range?
Which one?
Like this, oh, like those two boxes together?
Sure. I would say about 50 something pips.
Okay.
Yeah, about 42. And then the bottom one's probably the same thing. But no, this is probably like 50.
If I personally wanted to block that out with a black box, would that be valid?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. If that's what you're looking to do, and if you trade on the 4 hour, right? But once you get into the lower time frames, you may have some opportunities here that you could be taking. Like looking at the 1 hour right now, if you're not comfortable trading in this and all you want to do is just do the same exact thing we did in the live market, just block that off. Now everything's becomes a lot clearer, doesn't it? What is that right there? What are some of these candles right here?
Candles.
Clean moves. If you want that support to be broken, what do you got right here? Cleaner moves. Not necessarily that clean, but I'll take this after a retest.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now it becomes a lot clearer, right? These are your rules now. Now you're just going to block this off and you're just going to take this. Right? But if you're a little bit more comfortable or experienced, or you've seen certain things before, that you want to play some of these ranges, what I do see is that we broke resistance. We're holding support so far right here. We have a resistance right there. Can this candle flip bullish with some volume to push us right back up to this area? Got about 20 pips back up to that area. But I don't know. I don't know if that's something that we want to take. Also, you know what I want to do is I don't want to be sitting here during London or New York. No, Asian session on Sunday. So Sunday just opened up. We're holding support right there. I want to fast forward to New York. Sitting in the range to start the week. Price coming back down. Higher low. Get some volume. I could see us continuing up from here, holding support with a wick to fill. There you go. All right, now 6 o'clock. Now you definitely want to wait for 700 to break right here, right? This resistance. We did break this level. We're now retesting that level, but we closed the doji. We did not close above this level right here. And this is the hourly. So looking at the 30-minute, very messy over here. All right, we just did get a bullish close right here on the 30-minute with a wick rejection. Is this candle going to continue back up? Now again, your clean move is going to be once we break. Let's mark this number off. 700. Clone that. So now again, like Cat, if you want to do this, don't worry about any of that. Just take the move up. These are your only conditions of the session. Is that registering with everyone else too?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Good shit. So, thinking about the characteristics of this session right now, it's Monday, the start of a week. We're in December, right? A lot of people aren't trading right now. People on vacation, Christmas vacation, big bankers, big traders. They're all taking it easy in December, right? December is a difficult month to trade. So you want to stay patient, and you need to come to the market with full expectations that you're not going to catch anything. So we can fast forward this a little bit. And then one more. Mana, you with us?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. How you feeling about the week, buddy?
Feeling great. I mean, this week's just starting, but the last 2 weeks have been good.
Yes, sir. You've been on a roll.
Yeah, man.
How do you feel about that?
Feeling great. Yeah. Finally.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it takes time, dude, and you're young, right? You're on the younger side, and that's no excuse, but it gives you some perspective of where you're at right now. You're on that journey. What are you, 22?
Just turned 23.
Just turned 23. Okay, so 21, I started realizing how really important a lot of this stuff is, and how important the career was. Like at one point, I wanted to be a cop, not necessarily, but I was studying to be one. Like I was studying for my criminal justice and all that stuff. But I realized how important career was and all that stuff. So then you start turning the corner, realizing, okay, I like my independence. I like my time freedom, right? So how do I go about it that way and I also love money. So I want to make some money. So, not so much for the money, but it's more of like just the freedom. That's the main thing for me. So, you're in that spot right now where you already realize what you want to do, right? You know where you want to be going. and now it's just about getting the work in to do it. And like changing some bad habits, or doing the things you're supposed to do, making the right decisions, stuff like that. That's all it comes down to at this point. That's the stage that you're in.
Yeah, building the future. My
That's
future.
good, man. Super important. Paul, you back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. I was asking you something about, oh yeah, Kat was talking about how sometimes it's hard for her to see the market and she gets a little confused sometimes, but I was telling her like there was a point, and I was saying like we've been on like a similar journey together, but at the same time, like I remember when I was first starting out looking at the chart, it was almost like gibberish a little bit, and it was difficult to see the market in the beginning, but slowly but surely you start turning around and you start seeing the market a lot clearer. Things start making more sense to you, all that stuff. So I was just asking your opinion on that, like how it was for you.
Yeah, I agree. Like compared to how I see it now to how I see it then, how I saw it then.
So now you see it a lot more clearer.
Yeah, sorry. Whenever I drink coffee, it makes me raspy and whatnot. But like how I saw it now then to now, I mean, it's just you just start to see what you need to see.
Yeah.
And I mean, part of me thinks that if you did nothing, none of this like journaling stuff or any of that stuff we do, eventually you're gonna just start to see what you need to see. But doing all that stuff helps us kind of see it quicker.
100%.
But if you just showed up every day and took a trade, kind of evaluated your trade, eventually you would just evolve and just with more experience see what you need to see. But doing all the journaling and stuff that we do, it just makes it easier to do it like 10 times faster.
Yeah. Same thing with backtesting too. Like you gain the experience over such a short amount of time. Like what was it, a year and a half, 2 years ago? Like there was a reason I was able to like help out, especially with psychology, but able to help out people that have been trading for 3 or 4 years, because like the amount of backtesting I was doing during COVID was like obscene. It was like I was getting 7 sessions a day, including the live markets between New York and Asian, also the backtesting sessions in real time. And that's all I was doing between working out and doing that. I wasn't doing anything else. So like that was a luxury having that. And, you know, I would love, I don't want to say that because I never want to go back to lockdown again. I'm sure you can relate, Mana, but that's something that like I took advantage of wholeheartedly. And that's something that, you know, all your free time, I know, you know, everyone's back to work now. People got regular lives again. You need to, you know, dig in. Yeah. You need to dig in and make sure, yeah, he's something else, isn't he? Make sure that you're digging in and learning exactly what you need to, and getting that experience in. But what I was saying was like there's that journey of like the markets aren't that clear, and then all of a sudden you start seeing them slowly, and then you just make this switch, this turn where it's just like I'm seeing it so clearly now. Right. And that's where you just need to get to, Cat. So just stay persistent with it. You're going to get there, and just keep the confidence going, knowing that like you're studying your trades and all that, your odds are going to get a lot more trained. And once your eyes are trained, you get more confident. But like I said, taking some wins helps too.
For sure.
But Paul, the other thing I wanted to ask you was like, how are you feeling for the week?
Good. I'm good.
Awesome.
Don't like what I see right now, but
that's Monday, dude.
Yeah, Mondays are usually setting up the trend for the week for me.
It's President's Day too.
Yeah, that too.
We got this man's birthday right here. The reason we're a country. Dude, to think like To think like these were just ordinary dudes that were like, I'm done paying taxes and I'm done listening to a king. And I want freedom. I want people to have like, I mean, obviously we had a long way to go from here, right? But you know, it took about 100 years for us to realize like we have a lot better that we can do. But this was such a start, and this changed the entire world as far as having a nation that has freedom and people can have the ability to do what they want without anybody breathing down their necks, and it doesn't matter like what you look like or anything like that. Like you have the ability to do what you want as long as you put your head down and work. Like there's really not many other places on the planet like that, where we're protected by a sheet of laws that again protects us from any kind of tyranny or anything like that. Let's hope that stays in place. But again, we're not a perfect nation, not perfect in any way, shape, or form, but it's a nation striving for perfection. A little history lesson for you. So right now we keep rejecting this level over here. We keep going back to the other time frames. 4 hour close, a nice strong bullish candle above that resistance. So this is the range we're looking for. Will we break above? I'm gonna speed it up a little bit.
What time is it supposedly?
So right now it is 7 a.m. So the 1 hour just closed bullish right here. Next 1 hour candle, possibly creating a bottom wick to flip bullish, but we need to close above here. But it's been, what you can see here is that throughout pre-London and London, we've been very bullish. So now it's pre-New York. We're ranging a little bit at this resistance. Is New York volume going to push us through this resistance to retest our area right up here? That's what I'm looking for. Got a range of about 35 pips, 36 pips. That's exactly what you want.
So you're looking for the candle to close above the zone and some form of break and retest to continue, whether that be like a wick or like an actual break and retest.
Exactly. When you're sitting right here, it's very hard to say exactly what you want.
Right.
But when price starts closing above, it's like, okay, now we can start formulating our plan for an entry. And for a stop loss, and you know, our target, we already know what our target is, but we need certain things to play out. The first thing is, the only thing that we need to worry about is that we need that candle to close above on some of these higher time frames. 30, at least the 30 minute, the 15 minute, maybe. I don't like the way the 15 minute looks for now. A little rangy right here, but we need to exit this range right here.
Can I look at the daily again really quick? Okay. So, okay. Gotcha. Sounds good.
The 4 hour, again, we're still below this level. Again, we got 4 hour wick rejections too.
Can we say that somewhere above, like, I guess maybe this level, like if we were to hold any runners, that potentially we could have a swing trade or something like that?
100%. Okay. And you know, if you get this close above here, you could possibly place a stop loss below here, understanding that we're creating higher lows and higher highs. So placing a stop loss below here with a close up here, maybe a retest to continue up, then, you know, placing a wider stop loss, if you guys are swing traders, based on some of these time frames over here, especially the daily, maybe placing your stop loss below the daily, anticipating price to fill these wicks up here after forming higher lows.
Like at the very least, we can maybe touch around here type thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I'm really trying to like be more conscious, I guess, of pullbacks and things like that, and where price has been in the past, to kind of use it as like context clues, I guess.
Yep. Right. I haven't heard that term in a while. That seems cool. Context clues. There's this funny dude on TikTok that he's our age, but he acts like a teacher, and like his laugh, or he acts like coaches, he'll act like a doctor. He's hilarious.
On TikTok, he said.
Yeah, he's on Instagram too. I'm gonna find him. I forget the guy's name. He's just hilarious. Just posting something on Instagram. Right now, we're still ranging. I want to stay out of that, especially on a Monday. You guys are content staying out. Anybody see my live last night?
Yes.
I have such a love-hate thing with social media.
I feel you.
I know Paul feels me. Right, buddy? It's the worst sometimes.
What's up?
I said I've such a. Did you see my story last night?
On Instagram?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I was talking about social media a little bit.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. I said I know you would feel me on that.
well, let me go watch it and I can let you know if I agree.
Let me know. Find it. No. Now that was a nice close right there on the 30-minute. Now remember what we were talking about when we were back testing Cat the other day, where like price, we had the consolidation to the left, but we ended up getting a deep pullback with a very clean bullish close like that, right? In a bullish structure. And we just got that skyrocket.
Right, and it's 8 a.m.-ish.
It's 8:30.
Right? So 8:30, right.
So we'll live back test this. We won't take it, but let's see what happens over here. Can we push through this level? And can we at least grab, like, let's see, if you were to take this from right here with a, let's call it 8-pip stop loss somewhere around here to stay safe. Can you grab at least 10 pips right up here with the 8 a.m. volume pushing us through 700? Again, I'm not going to take this on a Monday. If anything, I would lower my risk, but we're just going to watch this play out. Oh, it's not playing. There we go. see.
I totally agree with your story.
I thought you might.
Yeah, it is a love-hate relationship for sure.
I wish it wasn't, but like, such a distraction, such a it's toxic. So, sometimes, I'm cool, sharing everything I'm doing and all that stuff. And some days I'm just like, I like keeping to myself.
Yeah, I hear you. There's just too many. Some people are on there like you, like me, like other traders, I guess, that are trying to just provide value, be helpful, be polite, encouraging, and some people are on there just to ruin people's day.
Yeah,
or try to ruin people's day.
I wouldn't say that I have too much issues with that. Like I don't have people like trying to troll me or anything like that. It's just like we're living in a day of social media where like everyone knows what everyone's doing, and like I don't know if that's healthy. It's I like to keep to. I'm more of a private person anyway, right? Like if it's funny. My fiance always cracks up at me, but like if I'm in public and somebody calls me, I kind of act a little off when I'm on the phone just because like I'm in front of people. I don't First of all, I think it's kind of rude to be on the phone in front of people and talking to somebody else and having a regular conversation. But also like I don't want people to hear what I'm saying or what they're saying or anything like that. And I kind of get different. And I don't mean to be. It's just a natural reaction. I just don't want people hearing my conversation. So that's just a little whatever into who I am. But some days I love it. And every day, this doesn't change how I love communicating with people on there. I love communicating with people. I'm talking about the stories and posting everything and all that stuff. But like communicating with people around the world and everything like that, that's one of the main reasons I started this thing. Started the group, helping people all over the place, stuff like that. But sometimes like just like if I'm in the zone, if I'm doing things throughout the day, I'm a million miles an hour every single day. So I don't have time to update everyone with everything that I'm doing, you know? So that's kind of my thing with it. But is it NEO? What do you mean, man?
The guy who not impersonates, but I don't know what the word is, but the guy who imitates people. You were talking about like 15-20 minutes ago.
Yeah, the guy that like acts like a teacher and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the guy. He does Gary V too. The one I'm talking about.
I know he doesn't impersonate people. He just like he'll like do the stupid laugh like a teacher. What did I save this? Where I sent him to anyone? See why we didn't take this? Like there's a possibility for that to happen, for us to break through 700, but it's not guaranteed. Trying to find this. Let's fast forward through here. It's Looks like this session is a dud. All right, price broke right back down into this level. Let's see if we respect support over here. Now this is 11 o'clock, I believe. Sessions. No, so this is 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. So 11 o'clock's coming up. London close is about to approach. Let's go back to the other time frames. Daily candle just flipped bearish. So can we just be ranging in this area for the remainder of the week, maybe? Do you want to take anything in here? I would maybe wait for a retest right here. If you're going to take anything, but these are going to be short-lived. These are going to be, I'm securing what I want and I'm out. Right? And lowering your risk as well. Because you're now in a very rangy market. This thing won't load. Get off Wi-Fi. There we go. Here we go. This guy's hilarious. Joe Routh. This guy. Type it in. Just search that on Instagram. Like he acts like your friend's dad, where like he's trying to get these kids to play sports or something. If you watch it, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's pretty good. I think he became big during COVID. Like he started it during COVID. All right, we're getting close to the end of this session. 30-minute, just tanking over here. This could have been a possible entry right here. So this is that setup that we always see. But you would have been, trading. Get the push down, low created. Get a retest with a weak bullish candle. This candle creates a side wick and pass the low of that candle right there. And then retest the low over here. But this is a big enough range. It's only 10 pips right there, about 20 right here. So you could have possibly taken that. Now let's fast forward over here. Heading into the Asian session. Asian was a dud. All right. So daily, I mean, we're just kind of consolidating over here. This is something like kind of like the last couple of weeks we've had on GJ that you just really want to just kind of stay out of something like this. Can you play some of these bounces? Absolutely, but you're going to want to lower your risk on these. Does that make sense?
For sure.
All right. I do like this setup a little bit. See, we're holding support on the 30-minute, holding support, all these rejections, clean bullish close. This candle filled the wick up here and closed a strong bullish candle right here. So looking at the 15-minute, this candle got weak. Like it rejected this area, but we are still staying above this level right here. Right, with this candle. So can we continue bullish? Do we have room right over here to retest this previous resistance or support? 18 pips, possibly. Let's see how we form out here. These candles are getting weaker. We got an indecision candle with this candle passing the low of that candle. This candle passed the high already. Is anybody looking to take anything?
I'd probably take something. Yeah. What does the 30 look like?
30-minute looks pretty solid.
Damn. Yeah, I kind of would have taken it at the closure
Of this one? Or
Yeah,
this one?
yeah. So it's a bit
Okay.
too late though.
Okay. I want to see the daily again. Daily flip bullish over here. We did yesterday. We got a strong bearish close over here. So this candle passed the low of that candle right away and then flip bullish. So could we be continuing up? This would have been a nice move for the London session to grab on the 4-hour. Whenever we ended up kind of closing, we had that support. We closed below the support, kind of faked it out with this candle. Retested the high, broke through this resistance right here. And now we're starting to hold support and break up from here. So if you were trading during London over here, you would have possibly grabbed this, but it gets a little messy. So now we get pre-New York volume. I think we could head up. To the 30-minute. 30-minute just opened up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a 1% risk visual mode and place my stop loss. I wanted to, we should have taken it after this candle closed, but just so you guys see it, and we can like take a trade and I can manage the trade with you guys so that we can at least get one in this session. We should be heading back up to this previous resistance and support over here and possibly continuing up because we keep printing. Let me zoom in just a little bit. There we go. So we got 149 that was tapped into. We have a higher low formed over here, higher low here, higher low here, right? And price is just holding support over here to continue right back up. So there's a good chance that we could continue back up to 150, 700 from here. But first, I'm definitely taking something right here. So let's see if this plays out. Again, just 1%. There's some pre-New York coming in. We just passed the high of that wick. Clean move to the left. Now, exit strategy. If we start flipping bearish over here and coming around here, you know, coming back to the open of this candle, then I'm going to be closing 50. Or, yeah, I'll close 50 right there. Just let the rest run. So we are not much of a range to play with, but let's see. Again, my original entry, I wanted to be right here. All right, so we just flipped bearish. It's not doing what we wanted. We wanted price to continue right back up. So just close 50. Yep. Let's see the lower time frames. All right, 15-minute looks good. We did pass the low of that candle. I'm happy we closed, but we are still respecting bullish structure. All right, so we should continue up from here, but you never know. Anybody have any questions about this?
No.
Cool. It's pretty clear. Again, like I said, the entry should have been lower, but that's okay. Fast forward a little bit. Messy price action. All right, we get the bullish close on the what time frame is this? 15-minute. Let's fill the wick, but are we gonna reject that area again? So now what we could do is adjust our stop loss. It doesn't have to be all the way down there. We can adjust it to right over here. Minimize our losses. Because if price breaks that area, the trade's pretty much invalid anyway. This is only meant to be a scalp. This isn't anything crazy here. 8.8 pips in profit, 10 pips. Oh, just had it. Nice close. It's the 15-minute. It's another 1 hour. Possibly could create a bottom wick. So we're almost at 10 pips. We moved too fast for us. Now, for the sake of back testing, but for the sake of like being on this live with you guys, like when I'm back testing, I'm doing this in real time. Like this is at 1. Only when I'm like looking for a setup and about to be in a setup right here. Yeah, so we're basically at 9.9. So I'm gonna close 80. Stop loss of break even. And I'm gonna get rid of my take profit and see how this thing rolls. So maybe a little premature of a close, but those were my rules. So that's where you go back into your trading journal and say, okay, listen, I closed 50. I'm happy with preserving capital. I think I did the right thing here. But at the same time, maybe it was a little early. So let me go back into the charts and see if that was early or if I did the right thing, where most of the time it starts going the opposite way when you get that certain setup. Does that make sense? Yes, no?
Yes.
Awesome.
Sir.
All right, we're pushing. Let's see what we end up doing over here. All right, stopped at break even. So up 0.8%, so 0.08%, not much. Would have been up more if we didn't close 50 there in drawdown, but we made up for our losses and we're in profit. So a win is a win. You go back and analyze that again. Where were we? 15-minute. We came down, we passed low over here, but we're still respecting market structure, right? Maybe what you could have done is if price came into here, the rules could have been like if price started breaking structure over here, then you could have closed 50, right? Instead of closing 50 after breaking the low of the 15-minute, just so that you could have grabbed this move because you got a clean move to the left, right? There's a strong possibility that we're coming up to this level. So again, that's where the trading AAR comes in. So like, what are you guys going to write today? Today, what you're going to do is you're going to write, you know, however your morning went. So morning AAR and then trading AAR. We had a bank holiday today. stayed out of the market. For me, I'm going to talk about my GJ trade this morning. There were a couple maybe opportunities that you could have. Oh, I don't want that. Go back and analyze the market. And if you, so if you missed this quick trade that we took this morning, oh no, it was this one right here. Go back to the lower time frames. So if you missed this quick trade that we grabbed this morning, you can journal that unless that's something that you typically wouldn't be taking, so you don't even have to journal it. But we had a ranging mark. Oh, wait a minute. What the hell? I was gonna say that didn't look right. This is GJ. So if you missed any of these moves on GJ, and this is something you normally would have taken, go back and journal it. Also talk to yourself. Listen, I should have taken this trade right here, right? My analysis was right, but we got the liquidity grab during pre-New York to then continue back down. But this was my main take profit over here. I was stopped at break even, right? We also made the right decision that you could talk to yourself about where we didn't take this trade right here. We were waiting for the 30-minute to close bearish, but we never got it, right? We got a liquidity grab before continuing down, but price did respect the structure right here, nonetheless. So, guys, with that being said, I'm going to hop off. I'm starving right now. If you guys need anything at all, please let me know. Mana, I know we're hopping on at 11. Sharma and I are doing a full fundamental and technical breakdown at 11 or 10 o'clock. So if you guys need anything after that, please let me know. Today's Monday. Set the tone for the week, right? Exactly what I was talking about yesterday in the live. So back test today. Get at least like an hour in of back testing so that you train your eyes and you get more comfortable with the market and your pair. Get a workout in. Do everything that you got to do today to set yourself up for success so that tomorrow you move into tomorrow with some momentum. And then you do the same thing tomorrow and move into Wednesday. Eliminate all excuses, right? You guys have goals, and those goals are much more important than those excuses or your sleep or your rest or anything like that. You guys can rest on the weekend. I always encourage you guys to take a break on the weekend, relax, spend time with family, catch up on sleep a little bit, get some work in. Also set yourself up for success on Sunday, but just relax a little bit. Spend time with friends, family, be human. All right. So guys, have a great day. If you need me at all, shoot me a DM, shoot me a voice message. We'll be going back and forth, and I will see you bright and early tomorrow morning.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Peace out. Oh, Steph.
What was that?
Yeah. Are you going to be on YouTube or Instagram with Sharma?
I don't know. We don't do a live on YouTube. We just record it together and then we post it on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
When we do streams and back testing sessions, stuff like that, we'll go live on YouTube.
Okay, cool.
All right. But this is just going to be a breakdown for you guys and YouTube. We'll just post the recording.
All right. Sounds good, man.
All right, guys. Have a great one. All right.
See you later.
Thank you, man.